Hello, hello, hello. My name is Carrie Thomas O'Mara, and I'm super, super excited that you're here to hang out with me and my special guest for another episode of the Boston Branded Podcast, where we shine lights on amazing people with amazing gifts, messages, and missions that are trying to get out to the world. Today, we have somebody that's near and dear to my heart. Her name is Ivorie Edwards. Ivory Mayana, for most people who know her, and she is a gift. She is a gift to the world. She has done so many things in her life, and we're gonna dive into that. But before we dive into that, of course, you know what we got to do. We got to cue the intro. You like that, didn't you? You like that little?
I didn't even hear it. It was not playing on my end.
It wasn't. Oh my gosh, you missed all the juice.
I didn't hear it at all. I saw you over there like, I'm like, okay, because she was dancing to the intro music that I can't hear.
No, Ivory, so much. I'm super excited to have you today. Guys, please, if you have anything, if you're on the live, make sure you just do hashtag live. If you want to replay, of course, do hashtag replay. I'm super excited to have you as our studio audience here today. Ivory, girl, how are you today? How's your day?
Good. I am super okay. I had a couple of things recently that took place in my life, but I'm actually getting through it. My laptop is completely gone, so I wish I could be on the laptop right now with you, but unfortunately my cell phone, so we're gonna press forward.
Exactly. And that's the thing, and I feel like it's funny because I feel like that's a big theme of your life, of there's situations and stuff that might pop up, but you have that resilience to always just keep going and stay forward and keeping that momentum. So before we dive into that, because I do have questions about like how did you gain that resistance, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the Boston Branded podcast family. Who are you? How did you become this person? And all the things.
Okay, I am Ivorie Mayana, born as Ivorie Edwards. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm an ATL native. Been here my whole entire life. Don't think I'll go anywhere else if it's not like Atlanta. I am a mother of two boys. One is 14, one is 17. I know I look good, but yeah, I popped them out. I am a fiancée. I have an awesome fiancé. We don't have a date. Kind of have a date. Sometimes don't have a date. Sometimes we do. COVID happen, but whatever. I am known to be of course, an all-around businesswoman. I'm all things business. I pretty much started that as a young girl, seeing my mentor at that age, Sabrina. She was my godmother. Just watching her grow into the businesswoman that she was is what made me want to be the woman that I am today. From starting many, many businesses as a little girl, I think my first business was probably, I think I had a lipstick line. It was called Kiss and Tell Cosmetics, but it didn't really last long. That was, like I said, one of my first businesses because, I just wanted to at least launch one and get started in something. But trial and error pretty much humbled me. And I didn't know that it was so much to that business. So, and I also wasn't passionate about it. So I moved on to something else, which is a cleaning business. Carrie, you know about that, Millennium Maids. She actually worked for me.
I worked for her. Like, look, it's so fun. So I have to lay the foundation for the people in the back.
Yeah.
Lay the foundation for the people in the back. So 2014. Just graduated college, and I knew that I wanted to get my own apartment. But anybody who knows my parents, I always talk about this. It's funny because I think I made a post one time about how I had to create a presentation to explain to my dad how I could move out on my own. And oh yeah, it was a whole thing. I was because remember I told you I was hey, I need all the things. You need to give me all the things so I can be able to do this. So I get all the information. I literally went to her almost every day. I was I need more things before I do this presentation. I need to know the stuff. So she actually was she was the leasing agent at that time that actually got me into my first apartment. So I get into my first apartment, and literally I'm out on my own. Even like I probably like I didn't like I knew people and stuff, but I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm out on my own. Like I need somebody who has done this. So like so like I see like because most of my friends still had like their own like still stayed at home with their mom or their aunts and things like that. So like I'm talking to like me and Ivory, we get really closely connected, and she's telling me about that she because I was still working, like I was working at the Source HOV. I have to tell you guys about that, but I was working at Source HOV. I was still in college. Actually, no, this was no, I was done. No, I was done.
You
So
were in college.
no, I wasn't in college. I was still at Source HOV, this job I started to be able to get out of there. So I was still at Source HOV. I was still popping staples at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I didn't have anything to do during the day. So she was like, "Oh, like you can help me." And I was like, "Sure, I'll help." Like I have anything else to do. So like we started working together. But I remember like when we first met, like I kept coming and I kept asking you questions about like the rent and like how like what's the average rates of utilities. So I asked all those questions because I needed to go present that to my dad and explain to him how I could be able to handle this decision that I was about to make as moving out of the house.
Well, it worked.
And he was like, because literally what he said, he was like, Carrie, I don't have any questions. He was like, clearly you laid it out very well. He said, he was like, all the ebbs and weaves that can happen. Like, I was like, and this is scenario A, and scenario B happens. This is what I can do. Boom, boom, bam. Like, I had like everything laid out. It was a lot, but it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I used to work for the Millennium Maze. It was fun. It was interesting. Like it was my first taste into entrepreneurship. Because like as you guys know, like my dad was in the military for 26 years. My mom had did corporate. My dad had like entrepreneur. He had an entrepreneur spirit. He had his own business, but he also had a career that fueled that. So for me, when I started like my journey, I was like, well, maybe I'll do something like how my dad did. I'll do my corporate life, and then after my corporate life, retire if I do it early. Maybe when I'm 40, I'll start my own business and I'll do something like that. So that was my philosophy when I met Ivory. So when I saw Ivory, she was younger. I was like, oh, she has her own business already. That's so crazy. I thought people like did corporate first and then they did their own business.
No. Yeah, we that was fun. Millennium Maze actually was another like stepping stone to just me understanding the business aspects of how to run a business. And then I was so much younger. I thought I was older then, but we were younger. Like I was like, I don't even, what was I, like 20 something years old? So
yeah, because I was like, what was that, 2014? I think I was like,
yeah,
I was like maybe like 20, like 22, 23, and you're older than me.
I had already had my own apartment, and at that time, like Carrie said, I was her leasing consultant. That was, oh my God. So now we're looking at like if we're 20. This is 2021. Okay, many years ago. But,
Yeah, so and it's funny. I was talking to Amber. I was like, we've been friends now like 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you never walked in that old leasing office, I would not know who you are, who you would be today, actually. So I'm glad that you leased with me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
At what was that, Claridge Park?
Yeah, Claridge Park.
Claridge Park.
811 Claridge Park Drive. That was where I was living. That was my home.
1106 Claridge Park Drive, Morrow, Georgia. But yeah, we've grown a lot. We've progressed. That's my phone, guy, and we now are in different places. Sorry, I don't have, like I said, my laptop was stolen 2 days ago, so I'm using my cell phone.
No, you're good.
You're good. So today, huh?
I said no, you're good.
I didn't hear you.
I said no, you're good. Like
yes, you can hear me.
Yeah.
I am now so from the leasing consultant, I grew to be an assistant manager. So I was assistant manager for many years, probably maybe 3 years. I transitioned from assistant manager to now a community manager. So I'm now here at my very own property. I actually manage 2, at the current moment, and it's a very challenging job. I don't know if you guys know about property management, but it's not for the weak at all. You really have to come in here and not take anything personal, and that's actually how I train my staff, and that's how I train my mind to not take anything personal. So I feel like I've always been like that. I'll say from maybe a teenager until who I am now. But I used to be a very shy, sensitive little girl, but that is not who I wanted to be. So I totally grew out of that person, and I wanted to really just show up as the real true Ivory. So I'm very open-minded. I'm fun. I like to talk, meet new people, and yeah, the old shy girl is done. But as a manager and being in this position, you can't be shy anything. I mean, at anything in this industry, because you have to confront people. You have to approach all situations, different people, different demographics. It's crazy. So this industry, it keeps me going. It's challenging, but I actually still love to do it alongside with my real estate. So I'm a realtor. So being a realtor and a property manager, y'all have to know my life is off the chain. Is every day isn't the same, and with my clients, and then here with my residents, that is pretty much really what I'm truly passionate about. Is always being able to help people. So I'm helping people in each industry. I'm helping you find a home. Well, actually helping you find a home with both industries, but with real estate, I'm helping you purchase a home. And then here, I like to say I'm helping you find your stepping stone home, because you're not going to live in an apartment forever. Exactly. So, an apartment, and then you gradually go into your home. So I love them both. I'm also an investor. I have a rental property located in Atlanta, so I manage that myself. And I own vending machines. And what else I do? Oh my God, I'm a credit repair consultant. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's right, Kara. I don't do anything else, right?
I don't think you do anything else. I don't think you do anything else.
Okay, yeah, that's it. But definitely most passionate about is my realtor career and property management. Credit repair, very challenging as well. That's not an easy process. It's not from 1 to 10 immediately. Working with different people who have challenged credit, they want you to start on their credit day one, and they want it to be fixed day two. So the patience there, it's never there. I'm just gonna say that. Like, people don't understand. People will actually. It takes nothing to mess up your credit, but they don't want to take the time out to fix it themselves. So they'll put money into hiring someone else to do it. And it's a quick tip. It can be done on your very own, but you definitely can hire me or someone else to do it for you. So, and the vending machine side of things, that's up and down. Even with that, I just had my vending machine broken into recently, and that's not also an easy process. A lot of things look easy, but then once you start doing it and managing it, like, the kids stole all my candy out of it. So that was the money I paid for all the candy, so they have to replace it. Not only that, they broke the entire machine. So, and then even still, I looked at it, I was like, wow, I can't believe they did it to me. And I just pressed forward, moved on. And because I understand that a lot of things in life can be replaced. So I'm not dwelling on it. I just moved on, figure out how much it's going to cost to replace the candy, and just, move forward.
And I think too, a lot of times when situations like that happen, I think it provides an opportunity to look at what can I do different next time, rather than looking at it as an L. Look at it as a lesson. So, like, not L as a loss, but L as a lesson. So that's one thing for me, that a lot of times when I'm put in situations where I'm like, oh man, like, I can't believe that happened. I'm like, you know what? Actually, I can't believe it happened, because it must be preparing me or setting me up for a better understanding of something else. So I'm always like, it's a lesson. Like, and then a lot of times I even say, I'm like, okay, God, I don't see it yet. Like, I know you probably see it. I don't see it yet. So I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you let it marinate in my spirit. And then once it marinates in my spirit, I'll be like, okay, cool, got it, makes sense. Or something will happen. I'm like, that's why you did that. Okay, I see it. I see you. So I think that's the big thing, and I think that's one thing about you that you have been able to do very much through your life is really look at stuff as lessons and places to catapult you to better
Mhm.
places and to do better things and to really elevate yourself in your life.
Yeah, and the way I look at things is I'm still here today despite everything that has gone wrong in my life in the past. So it's like I was able to persevere and continue to go on and press forward. Like whatever it was, it did not take my life from me. So I know I'm still gonna be good. I could be sad, mad. I process the emotions in that very moment, and then I just like, okay, I don't like what you just said. I don't know what this is meant for me or what makes it do to me or what lesson that I need to get out of this. I take it in that moment and then I just keep going. And then like I also have like it used to be like a 48-hour rule where, I'm gonna be mad and cry over something for 2 days. That's all
Mm,
you're gonna get from me. You're gonna get 2 days. After that, I'm just gonna like I said, process the emotions and just move forward. I understand this happened to me. I understand why this could possibly have happened to me, and I'm gonna press forward. So you take the lesson from it, and then that's it. I'm never a person to dwell on anything. Absolutely not. It's a waste of time.
it is like, and I love that. So my one of my questions for you, and I think a lot of people will gain some gifts and some nuggets from this,
Mm-hmm.
is what has it like what is a theme that kind of keeps you pushing, like what is that theme that you're like, okay, I'm gonna use this as a lesson, I'm gonna keep going forward, because I know what my stuff is, but what is that thing that you're pushing yourself to, and you're saying regardless of all the crap that might be around me, I see the vision, I see where I'm trying to go, and you're always just leveling yourself up, and even though there might be a new devil that pops up, you always like just keep moving in that direction. So what is your theme? What
I
are you?
think
What is?
something is wrong. I think something's wrong with me, not in a bad way, but I'm addicted to success. So every time
You're going out on me a little bit. Okay, I can hear you now.
can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah, every time I set goals for one, and it's like a goal every year. It's not just one, several goals. And once I hit that goal, it's like, all right, now that I've done this, there has to be something more to this. So, as I mentioned, I was a leasing consultant. Did you really think I was going to be a leasing consultant for long? Absolutely not. So now that was a challenge for me. So now I was wondering, okay, there's more to this career. So now I'm going to be the assistant manager. I start figuring out the things and positioning myself to be the assistant manager. I start acting in that role as assistant manager without even having a title. So people were, they were coming to me, and with Miss Kathy, she already was like, "You need to be my assistant," because it was really just a leasing consultant position. So it was an assistant manager at that property. But I did everything that Miss Kathy, as an assistant manager, wanted me to do. So
Mm.
I came here where I am now as an assistant manager. And then now I said, okay, it just doesn't stop right there. So I already was acting in my role. I did learn every report as a manager. I began to learn the vendors, everyone I needed to call in case there was an emergency, because that's what a manager does. And I was acting in that role. And then here I am now. I am the community manager here, not one property, but two. So it's like with me, I am always like, what's next for me? This cannot be it. And that's what I always say, like, I cannot have those friends around me that are super complacent with just being where they are in life. It makes me uncomfortable. So
Mm.
I just always have to grow to the next level, wherever it is. I'm gonna find out. Like now, I'm a realtor. Doesn't stop there. I will be a broker by the end of this year, because I plan to take my license, my test, and get my license probably as early as September, October this year. So from the broker, that's when you start your own business. So that's just how I am. And I say I'm addicted to success because I really truly am. And when they say you're never satisfied, that's me. So, and I don't chase money. I don't chase titles. It's a challenge for me. It's an internal thing. So I'm always just like, what's next? And another thing too, I wake up every morning and on my alarm clock, when I snooze, I say on my alarm clock, it says, "Is Beyonce still asleep?" So that is one thing that wakes me up every day. And I look at that little note in my snooze alarm. It says, "Is Beyonce still asleep?" Because you guys know how hard Beyonce worked. we don't really know the background and her daily routine. She could wake up at 5 o'clock. She could wake up at 4 a.m. But at the time that I set my alarm, it's generally 7:30. I lay there, see the snooze. Is Beyonce still asleep? Hell no, she's not still. Let me get up. So something in me triggers to get up and press for and get my day started. I always want to lay in the bed because I really am not a morning person. But not only do I think about me having to be a provider for my kids, I am responsible for a lot of things in life. So I can't just lay around and not go to work. I can't just lay around and just not do anything. Every day is always something for me to do, even on a boring day. So I
So is
probably.
it,
Mhm.
yeah, so it's like your one, I think so, just to make sure everybody got it. So one
Mhm.
thing is because like the thrill of the chase of that next
Exactly.
win, the thrill of
Yes.
the chase of the next win, and then the building of the legacy.
Yes. That's it.
Okay, cool. I love it. So for I think for me, like so for me, mine is like I'm really big on impact. Like I'm really big on making impacts, and a lot of like, and you and a lot of the clients that we work with are also on that thing. But for me, my thing is like I've always knew from a very young age. I'll say middle school. I knew that I was always meant to in this like meant to make some type of impact or some type of radical
Mhm.
shift that was going to kind of trace like some of the like the really foundations of like what we see in the world.
Right.
So for me, like my mission, of course, is like to help people shine their light, to realize that people have amazing missions and amazing messages, and a lot of times, people, especially people who are like on that really like impact driven life, they're like, I just want to help the people that are around me. I just want to serve, things like that. A lot of times they silence themselves and they get quiet and they don't shine their light as much as they want to. And so for me, my thing is like what can I do to inspire somebody to shine their light, and what tools and services can the Velocity team offer to be able to help people shine their light.
Right. I like that. And you do that. I think you're walking in your purpose as of now, right now as we speak, because from you going to the first job you had, it really wasn't helping people.
Yeah,
And
no.
the other job, yeah. And then now this is really truly, truly helping people. So
Yeah, and it's funny, and I remember I always tell people, like people always ask me like, Kira, how did you get to like this spot right now? And I tell people like it was an option. Like it was two coins tossed up in the air when my dad passed away. And
yeah.
the two things that were tossed up in the air is like, Carrie, you can use all the things that your dad taught you. You could learn how to be an amazing person and care about other people and be humble, have like humility and kindness and inspire like my dad did. Or I could say, "Oh my gosh, my dad died," and like I'm sad, and that's just what life is gonna be. And the thing is, like, and I like there was like either both of those things. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the path that you take. And I
Yeah.
know for my brother, like the path that he took, he was like, my dad died. That's the guy who I looked up to. I literally like my brother built his career
Mm-hmm.
watching and looking and seeing, okay, this is what dad did, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what dad, this is what I'm gonna do. So for him, he was like, he lost, like he was like, well, what do I do next? Like dad's not here to give me my next steps. Um and for me, I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna use all the lessons that he taught me and I'm gonna make an impact. And I remember when we first started the business, because I had worked so much in like corporate America, working with Subway corporate office and things like that, that would have been easy for me to still do the same thing, but it was going to be more based around helping franchisees and helping
Yeah.
people in the restaurant industry increase like their profitability and visibility. But I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to help people who have amazing missions and amazing messages that want to impact and want to touch other lives, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to, what I always say, create a world where amazing people help amazing people. And I knew the only way I could do that is by saying, okay, like I have to work with these type of people. And like literally we've been very, very selective of people we bring on our like that we bring in, because like anytime I get like a sense of like, oh, these people they don't care, they're just trying to look for the almighty dollar. Like they're not our people, and I'll be like, nope, not our people. Next,
It's okay to be selective
yeah,
on who you do business with. Trust me, I learned that too.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, like,
Are
I
you going in
think
and out? Are you here?
I'm here. Are you here?
I'm
You're
here.
coming back. Okay, yeah, you're coming back to me now. But yeah, no, I think what you said is true. Like, you have to be selective. Like, you have to really understand what's your vision. Like, what's the vision that you're really trying to create for your life and even for your business. Like, what is that vision? And then I always tell, like, it's funny, I had a conversation with a potential client a couple of days ago, and I was like, fast forward 5 years, like, what's the vision look like? Like, what is that? Like, where are you at?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's reverse engineer that plan with actionable steps and goals, kind of what you do, actionable steps and goals. And that's really what you've done. Like, you already said, like, I want to be a broker. So literally you
Yeah.
reverse engineer that plan of being a broker. What are the things that I need to do or have in place to be able to achieve these goals? Okay,
Right.
let me actionable step this stuff out to be able that I'm checking off these boxes so I can automatic, even though it's going to be stair steps, because I think a lot of times, and I think what you do is very important because you understand stair steps. You understand that yes, you can go to the top really quick, but sometimes that might not be the best way. There's lessons and things that you might miss by
Right.
just trying to shoot straight to the top. But when you stair step your life and you go through and you learn lessons and you build and you become a better person as you
Mm-hmm.
grow, because every time you move up there's a new devil and there's a new situation that comes into place that you have to be able to reassess and shift it out and create a new paradigm shift. And if you just go straight to the top, all those paradigm shifts that you needed to get through to be that person, to be ready for that, you miss.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a thing. It's funny.
Yeah.
There's a thing that Alex Sharfton. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but his name was Alex Sharfton. Alex Sharfton. I remember when I first heard this, I felt some type of way. But what he said, the reason why you don't have the business you want is because you're not the person for that business. And I was like, and I remember when he said that, I was like, sir, what do you mean?
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking to
What are
me?
you trying
Like,
to say?
and I was, and it like, I remember, like, I was sitting there, I was like, what does he mean? Like, I'm not the person for the business. Like, I'm doing all the things, but I realized I was doing all the things, but I wasn't mentally and emotionally. I hadn't created those paradigm shifts. I was still in a place of scarcity and urgency and fear and all those things, that I wasn't in a place of abundance. So I had to shift my perspective. I had to shift the way I looked at things to be able to elevate, to be the person that I wanted to be for the business that we have now.
That is so true. And then that goes along with just waking up and showing up as that person that you want to be.
Exactly. And that's exactly
Mm-hmm.
what, and that's literally what you said that you did every step. It's like you showed up, you're like, okay, this is not where I want to be. I'm going to shift into this person. I'm going to mentally and emotionally. And the thing is, what you did is you shifted your state. You physically shifted your state into the person to become the person that you wanted to be, rather than trying to do all these things you became.
Right.
And it's funny because, like, it's one of the things we talk about with a lot of our clients. It's like, it's not, a lot of times it's not the doing. A lot of times you don't have to do all the things. And it's funny because it's very if anybody came, like, are watching or on the replay, we're at the boss brunch. That's what we were talking a lot about. Is it's not the idea of having to do, like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. It's like, am I being the person that I need to be?
Right.
Am I showing up? Am I coming into the situations with the right intention and the right expectations? Or am I trying to work my way to the top instead of just being that person you need to be, and then and being that and being and go actually just going there naturally?
Right. Yeah. I agree 100%. Wait, I should have came to Boston branded. Is it right? No, the boss brunch. Sorry.
Right.
I guess I missed a good one. But
Well, we have
that's
one
right.
every
That's
year.
right.
Yeah, boss brunch.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah,
this
we have
was
one every
virtual
year.
this past year. Okay.
Yeah, you came
So
to.
I
Yeah,
did
you
the
can. It's funny.
virtual.
Ivory was at the first one. She was at the original, the first rendition of Boss Brunch. She was at that one, and then we had two virtual. And then next year, we're probably gonna do a virtual in person hybrid, just
Mm-hmm.
because we know there's some people that probably still won't be able to make it. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what we have. Um. Okay, so tell me, like, what, like, so we were just talking about shifts and states that you had to change. So what are, like, would you say, the top three shifts that you had to make in your life to be the person that you are now?
Okay. I definitely had to become more disciplined because if you want to do something in life, and waking up as that person requires you to be a total different person. So with me changing some habits, that's another one. I guess I can say that changing habits, becoming more disciplined, and sacrificing. And I'm gonna go back to discipline. I struggle with that always because waking up for me is the worst. Waking up early. Let's go back. Waking up early. I'm not an early person, but then I've always read things and seen things on YouTube how to start your day. Like you have a better day if you start your day early.
Yeah.
So waking up and actually meditating, praying, having that coffee, affirmations, starting your day like that is just like, and I started to do that recently. I would say in the last year. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not perfect. I do miss some days, but I just, and consistency too. I want to say consistency as well. So just learning to just wake up and adapt to a routine, and it comes with discipline. So, and then there are certain things I would want to do other than what I really need to do. So of course I was talking to you about that at our lunch. Like I could be, going through my client list and following up, or possibly searching and sending out homes, but I also want to go over here on TikTok and laugh my butt off. So now that's where discipline comes in. Which one is more important, this laugh or this money, or this client rather? So, that's just discipline. And then making sacrifices. I think that where I am right now in my life, I have sacrificed some friendships. I still do have my life where I go out, but instead of going out so much, I now travel. Like that's my new thing. So, and what was the other one I said? Consistency.
Consistency.
Consistency. I struggle with that always growing up, because when you just need to get in the routine of doing things every day, and then you have other people like that distract you, like relationships, friendships, and just really just people and things. It's just like it. That's the shift. Like I had to identify with myself that these are distractions, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or a person. So once I identify, okay, this person, me talking to this person every day on the phone is just a distraction. And you have to sacrifice the conversations that consist of gossip, or the conversation that is not, aligned with what you want to do in life. So I think I probably said 3 or 4: consistency, discipline, come on, consistency, discipline.
And then I can't think. Oh, you just said it. Just
I
like
know.
so. Okay, so I do have a question. So I feel like I think those are results of the emotional shifts that you had to make. So what
Mm-hmm.
devils popped up that you had to shift your whole perspective around and look at it a different way?
What devils? Sacrificing the time with my family. So I want to say this too. I can't always make everybody happy. So as a mom, a fiance, a mom, I always said mom, fiance, sister, brother, daughter. My mom has actually, because I work so much and I try to keep, everything afloat. My mom has come to me, and she lives where I work at, crying because she feels like I don't have time for her. So I've had to, and that's takes me back to sacrifice. So, but she knows my drive. That's the crazy part, and it's like she respects it. But she always tell me, "I know that you're doing this, and I'm so proud of you as my daughter. But you need to make time for me. You need to make time for this." She always bring me back. She will humble me quickly. I'm not even gonna lie about that. And she always tell me about myself, which is why I love my mom so much. But she like, don't forget to spend time with your kids. I know you want to go, and she said this before. She said, I know you want to travel outside of the country, but don't forget to take your kids with you. So she does that to me, and it's like, okay, it's a reality check, but she's also right. So
Yeah, and I think too, like really what it is I think sometimes, and like what I'm hearing is sometimes you get caught up in the doing.
exactly, yes.
So
So
yeah, so I think that, and it's so funny that you say that because like a lot of times with our clients, like they're at that shift, and we call it, and what I call it the truest entrepreneurship. Like it's the truest version of the entrepreneurship, because you have to come from what are the things that I need to do to be able to hit my goals, and shift it from saying what are the things that need to happen in the business to be able to hit our goals. Because the thing is, a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we feel that it's only we can do it.
Right.
And the moment that you make that shift and you realize, hey, these are just the things that need to get done, and I'm not the one that has to do it. I can actually delegate stuff out. I can hire people to do these things, and and that's like when you get back into the being. Because when you're doing all these things, and I think you even said it, like you were like going through these customer things, you probably like that's not going to drive the needle as quick as like if you actually were like going out having conversations with them.
Yep.
So it's like, but that stuff also has to be done. So because you're trying to do all the things, and it's funny because that's one of my sayings, all the things, but it needs to be all the things that are actually going to drive the needle forward. All the things sometimes it's not, and it's you definitely should have been at the boss break, because this is literally what we talked about. So I'll have to send you the recordings.
Yeah.
Because all the things doesn't mean all the, like sometimes it doesn't mean all the things. Sometimes it means what feels truest and natural to you in your heart, that you like, because this is like I had the same situation. Like I was working like 60 hours a week sometimes in my own business. I literally gave myself another job. And I was like, how I can't give myself I can't give myself another job. I have to figure out how can I, and it's funny, where is it at? It's right here. Jorge Vasquez, if you're listening, you'll be proud of me. But it's this thing where it says be, do, have. Like it's not, you have to be to do. You have to be the person to be able to do the things. And once you do the things, then you can have anything you want in your life. But the first thing is be. It's not do, be, have. It's be, do, have. And I think
it's be, do, have.
yeah, it's be, do, have, not do, be, have. Because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we feel like we have to do everything first, then we can be the person, then we can have everything we want to have. Because that's natural. Like that's the shift. Like that is probably, and I call it the truest entrepreneurship, because it's literally everything changes. Your whole perspectives of life changes. And even the, like me as a recovering perfectionist, that had to shift, because I remember myself, and it's funny, Becky North, if you're watching. I remember I was at FHL, and it was during the Tony Robbins it was during the Tony Robbins presentation, and he was talking about people being the bottleneck of their business, and how they were stopping growth because they felt like they had to do all the things, and they had to touch all the things, and they had to be there. And I remember looking at Becky, and Becky was like, Carrie, like, I feel like that's what you're doing. And I remember I started crying. I said, I don't want to be the bottleneck of my business. Like, I don't want to be the one that holds up stuff, especially when I have a team, just because I want to do the things.
Right.
And I remember I would like take stuff. And it's so funny. I remember I would take stuff back from the team, and I would give it to Jean. I'd be like, Jean, I got it. And I'll take it back. And then I'll give it back to her, and I would take it back, because I was just like, I want to do this. I was like, I want to do this stuff. This is stuff that I'm amazing at. And like, I can do it better and faster. Like, I need to just do it.
But yeah, I didn't cut you off, but yeah, a part of being a boss is delegating. And you have to delegate those tasks to someone that you trust that could do it like you. Like when I'm not here, I know that Lakeisha will operate as me. So it just has to be with somebody you trust. Because trust me, I know that feeling of you wanting to do it. Because you like, I know if I do it, it's going to go this way. It's going to be perfect. But you can't do everything. Absolutely not. If I did every role that was played here to run this business here, I will be exhausted. So
yeah, I
there's
think
something for everything.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think something that's important too about what you said, it's not even the fact of somebody that can do it just as good as could do it just like you can. And that's something that I had to take, and I had to like, that was a shift. That was a shift too, that I was like, oh no, people can't do things exactly like me. They're going to do it the best way they know how. And the more that I coach and train, it can be close to what I can do, but it might never be as fast as what I do. But what they do is going to be amazing, and it's going to make massive impact, and it's also going to take time away from stuff that I don't have to do anymore. But that was a huge shift because it's what you said. You're like, it got to be like, they got to be doing it like me. Because that's what I said. I was like, it's not what I would have done. Exactly. I remember I would say that. I was like, I wouldn't have done it this way.
Yep. I agree. Yeah. It's hard. It really is. But if you don't trust people to do it, I mean, you might as well just go ahead and run that company by yourself. No time for nothing. You and your business.
Yeah, and it's funny. I don't know where it is. I always have all my books right here. There's a book. It's called Traction. It's one of the books that we used in our business. It's a book that we use in our business, and one of the things that they say is the right people in the right seats, and the people having the capacity to be able to do the stuff that you want them to do. So anybody, I'll recommend anybody who has a team, has a business, make sure you read Traction, or even Alex Sharpton is amazing at this as well. So Alex Sharpton, Traction are great for situations like that.
Okay. I'm gonna have to, what's the name of the book?
Traction.
Traction. All right, I guess that's a good read.
Yeah, and it's like, it's very project based, so literally you can take it, and I would say like go through it chapter by chapter and actually do the work that they're telling you to do in it, and like have your have like Lakeisha with you when you're going through it, because it's like you're setting your vision, you're setting your core values, you're setting your big audacious hairy goals, like you're setting your 5-year goals, you're setting your yearly goals, and actually creating action steps. Like, it's really good.
So it's like a step-by-step guide almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really, really good.
Now, in my real estate life, I definitely can use that book.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really, really good. Oh my gosh, girl, this was amazing. Okay, so tell the world where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Instagram. My IG handle is Ivory. It's spelled IVORIE _ Mayana, MYANA. I'm also on Facebook as Ivorie Edwards. And I'm on TikTok as Ivory _ Mayana.
Oh snap! Not on the TikTok.
Of course, I'm on TikTok. What do you mean? It's realtor by day, TikToker by night. My TikTok.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to cue the intro. Ivory, don't go anywhere. I can't wait to catch up with you on the back end. But guys, I will see you next week for another episode of the Boss and Branded Podcast. Bye. If I can find the outro, here it is.